Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Happy Monday. Happy first Monday of October. My goodness. Monday, October the 4th. We are in the 10th month of an awesome year. Just remember, got about 4 weeks left to write business that'll still get you paid in 2021. So for those of you who are churning out an awesome 2021 income year, 4 weeks, tick-tock. Let's make sure we keep posting because we got to close before 12/31. I see some of you driving for big numbers. It makes me excited. So a couple of quick announcements this morning. First and foremost, you may have seen on Friday that your MLS has officially dumped the Zillow-owned showing time. We are moving to a system called Broker Bay. That switch has not occurred yet, but it is about to occur. It's about, I think it's about 4 to 6 weeks off. By Thanksgiving, they will make that shift and change. The good news is that I'm hearing that there'll be lots of training offered on the new Broker Bay showing system. I saw a video just kind of giving you the ins and the outs of it. I think it does the same thing with just a different look, slightly different platform. But for all intents and purposes, I think you'll be happy with that change. And the good news is that, at some point we have to keep sending a message that, Zillow can't necessarily own everything, right? So we'll make that switch. Everyone will be happy. Your information will be safe, and all will be right with the world. So do watch for that change. Do know it's coming. You will have to learn a slightly different system in the next couple of weeks to continue to utilize an automated showing system. But Broker Bay is coming your way. Woohoo! They should call me. I think I want to sell them that little slogan. I like it. Okay. Today we have at 9:30, we have the first week of October. I got a couple of open mics, so do make sure that you are muted. That's awesome. We have a couple. We have the first week of October's Business Builders that starts today at 9:30 with Debbie in her Zoom room. Debbie, go ahead and put your Zoom room number in the chat just so everyone has it fresh again. That'd be awesome. That's 9:30 today and tomorrow, and then likely on Wednesday as well, and then perhaps Thursday will be an afternoon. But Debbie will let you know exactly what that schedule looks like for Thursday. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that you likely saw my email last week, and then again over the weekend. We do have a pretty exciting sign in to win program that we're launching this week. So you have 2 opportunities to come to the launch to understand what that looks like, how it's going to work, what you're going to get, and what the timing is. We're going to give you the whole breakdown of the entire month-long program. Basically what that is an opportunity for you to offer really cool prizes to your database at absolutely no cost to you. That's the short version of what we're doing here. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity in October to connect with your database so that they remember you and you remember them. It's the best way that I know how to continue to build those relationships and maintain those relationships between you and your database. The prizes are really cool. Want a little preview? Or should I make you come to 1 o'clock today? Nah, come to 1 o'clock today to make sure that you know how to engage in all of this, because I think I gave you the prizes in the email. So that's today at 1 o'clock or tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Those are your 2 opportunities to come and understand how this is all going to work and how you can plug your database into it. But what your database has an opportunity to win is one of 2 grand prizes. Grand prize number 1 is dinner for 10 at an awesome restaurant. We're still choosing the restaurant. However, dinner for 10, so 9 of their closest friends, right? At an awesome restaurant locally. And grand prize number 2 is a Broadway weekend. We're giving them 4 tickets, a hotel, and dinners, right? So raise your hand if you think those are prizes worth having a conversation with your realtor about. Yeah, me too, right? So we're really excited to be able to kick that off. Again, that's all going to come at no cost to you. We're covering the cost of all the prizes. We're handling all the collateral material for you and pushing it out to you as it needs. We're giving you an outline of exactly what to do when. So really what we're looking to do is model how to run one of these things for you, so that if you choose to do them on your own in the future, that's awesome. You've already done it once and you know how to do it. And if you just choose to do it this one time, that's okay too. So 1 o'clock today or 11 o'clock tomorrow, right here in this Zoom room, for you to get all the details on exactly how to plug you and your database into that. I'm really excited to kick that off. All righty. So let me just give you a quick listings update, since I think I haven't done that maybe even in 2 weeks now. I apologize. I'm not sure what happened on Wednesdays. That was supposed to be on Wednesdays. So we're going to pivot today and have a Monday listings update. As you know, we are in our now third, 1, 2, 3, maybe fourth 60-day challenge in terms of obtaining listings at a high level. You killed it the first 3 times by overachieving and taking more listings than our stated goals. And so this time, between September the 1st and October the 31st, what we have for you is a goal of 308 new listings, if you remember. And so as of today, we are supposed to be at 167. And you're all so spoiled because you're so used to me telling you that you're crushing that number and that you're above that number target to date. And unfortunately, I can't tell you that today because we are behind, right? For the first time in the year, we're behind in terms of our goals for new listings taken. Where we stand today at day number 33 is at 117. So we're 50 listings short, right? So here's the good news. There's 100 of us on this call. That's only half a listing apiece. So all in favor of heading out and taking at least half a listing today to catch us up, that would be spectacular. For those of you who choose not to, well, look to your left and look to your right, because one of your neighbors is going to have to take care of the other half for you, right? So I'm really excited to be able to let you know that we still have 4 full weeks, right? You have 4 weeks to make up that difference so we can end at that 308. Right now, as prescribed, if we don't change anything, we will end up at about 216 for our 60-day period of time, right about 92 short. And the reason that concerns me is because listings taken is a look forward at your income, right? And so just to be clear, why we set these goals, this has nothing to do with the market center. It has everything to do with listings taken being that leading measure that predicts your future income. And so if there's 92 opportunities for a closing that aren't materializing, that concerns me that each one of you now has one less opportunity to create the income that you need and desire, right? So let's get hot and heavy on this. Let's make sure that we have everything that we need, all the tools that we need, all the strategies that we need, and we go and we just bang it out, because we got a little catch-up work to do. I will keep you posted as we continue to move forward. Pivoting from that today into our main conversation, this is one of my favorite conversations, because I will tell you that this conversation, if you take it to heart and you choose to make a shift in your thinking, it will change absolutely everything. Absolutely everything, right? And that's the concept of shifting from a scarcity-minded thinker to an abundant-minded thinker, right? We're talking about scarcity versus abundance. You can dive right backwards into the listing conversation, right? Why are we taking fewer listings? Does it have to do with the fact that we think there's fewer out there? Does it have to do with the fact that we think it's now September into October, and so therefore the market isn't quite as hot, right? I would challenge those. The numbers don't agree with you, by the way, right? From a listings taken perspective, the numbers don't agree with that thinking. So recognize that. Let's have a conversation around scarcity versus abundance. Anybody want to tell me their thought about what that actually means? What is scarcity versus abundance?
Less rather than more.
Yeah, less rather than more, right? So that's a really, I love that, that idea, Karen, the idea that our thinking becomes about what we don't have versus what we do have, versus less, uh, thinking about less versus more. Go ahead, Heather, what else?
There's more than enough for everybody.
Yeah, I love that, right? More than enough for everybody, and certainly more than enough for you, right?
Yep.
So what I put on the screen, I'm going to circle back in a second, Silva. Um, what I put on the screen is just kind of a quick rundown, right, of what this looks like. Scarcity thinkers, they think from the perspective of there'll just never be enough. It's always about the lack, right? They compete to stay on top. Everyone's trying to come and get me. They hoard things like tight-fisted, right? I have to hold on to everything I have. They don't share knowledge. They don't help other people readily, right? There's suspicion. Everyone's out to get me. There's resentment. They're afraid of being replaced instead of recognizing that there's room for all of us to succeed at a really high level, right? Scarcity thinkers are always thinking about how tough things are. They always see the glass half empty. Oh, there's just not enough listings to take. We're in a shortage. I don't know why he keeps talking about taking more listings. Doesn't he know? Somebody should tell him that there just aren't enough listings out there for everybody, right? And what's interesting is that when you really are a scarcity-minded thinker, you start to attract information to validate those thoughts, right? So the fact that you heard somebody say that their buyers can't find a house, see, I knew it. I knew there were no listings. That buyer can't find a house. It has nothing to do with that buyer, right? Maybe we should ask some questions around what's going on with that buyer. Scarcity-minded thinkers believe that times are tough. They believe the pie is shrinking, less, 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 right? They think small, avoid risk, and they fear change. One of the things that's not on here that you should know about scarcity-minded thinkers is that most scarcity-minded thinkers come from a place of fear and entitlement, right? That's kind of that place that they live in. I'm afraid of it, and yet I feel like I deserve it. Let's switch over to abundance-minded thinking. Here's what Heather said. There will always be more, right? When you really think abundantly, it's like, you know what? Okay, I didn't sell that buyer a house. Well, how many other buyers do I have? How many other houses are out there? There's always going to be another opportunity for me, right? What's around the corner? What's tomorrow hold? What's the next hour hold? Abundant-minded thinkers collaborate to make sure they stay on top because they know there's enough for everybody. They're generous, they share knowledge, they offer help. There's a level of trust and rapport building. Abundant thinkers welcome competition because what abundant thinkers know is that competition makes them better and it challenges them to learn new things. Oh, it's so exciting. They strive to grow and always believe that the best is yet to come. It's not about how tough it is, right? They believe the pie is always growing. They think big and embrace risk, and they take ownership of change. And most importantly, they behave from a place of gratitude and confidence, right? Versus that entitlement and fear, it's gratitude and confidence. So many different ways to kind of look at this, but I want to hear from you guys. Go ahead, Silva, and then Jody.
Yes, my scarcity, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. My scarcity versus abundance is in the chat. So I gave Jeannie all of my trust that I don't have in me. So I have this task this week to figure out what's wrong with me. You know, why am I trusting Jeannie more than I trust myself? Because I know that I can do it, but why am I not wanting it? So this was a good call. This was a great, great opportunity, and thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so I can answer the question. There's nothing wrong with you. You just gotta put your nose down and put the blinders on and just go do, right? Get into activity. Recognize that scarcity doesn't bring you forward at all. It's always about abundance. It's always about more. Debbie and I used to have a formula when we were first forming our businesses. that we still use today. And it's a very complicated mathematical formula. I want you to all write this down. Someone can put it in the chat as well. So you may need an interpretation, because again, it is very complicated. And the formula that we always used was more equals more. Again, very complicated, I know. Dirty Boxer, what do you have for us?
So I'm just going to say scarcity versus abundance is when you're scared, when you're living in a world of scarcity, you're so desperate for any piece of business that comes your way. When you're living in abundance, it's so much easier to say, I'm going to focus on the motivated, the people who really want to sell, and not the people who are going to drain the life and blood out of me.
Yeah, so true, right? So true. You know, let me put this on the screen, because what Jody just described is this. Financially, the one on the left, the before, that's that scarcity-minded thinking. Like your brain is so full and focused on, I have to find money to live, that all those other things, community, helping others, short-term goals, long-term goals, your enjoyment, you know, all of those, your relationships, self-improvement, all that stuff, taking care of you, taking care of others, it gets pushed down. When you shift to abundant-minded thinking, money to live just starts to show up, so that you can face and focus on all those other things that are important to you. This is the visual representation of Jody Boxer's comment. We didn't even plan it, my goodness. Go ahead, Jeannie Cassendorf.
Well, you once said something very wise to me. You said there is always enough business to go around for everyone. And this was when we were a very small market center. That has always stayed with me. The other thing is, there was once I was a recruiter, and I was living in my house and I wanted to buy granite counters, but I was like, oh my God, granite counters are so expensive. And my boss at the time said, come from abundance. And I was like, what does that mean, come from abundance? She's like, if you believe it, you will create it. And the fact that you're talking about that this morning is so spot on. As we go into sort of 2022, it's thinking, wow, everyone had this great year this year. How on earth are we going to top it? So instead of me being in my scarcity about it, it's just the mantra, come from abundance.
100%. Speak it to the universe and it shall arrive. I love that. That's awesome. Do remember, and then John's going to bring us home because we are out of time, but do remember that making this shift in your thinking has nothing to do with where you currently stand. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people think, well, I'll think more abundantly once I have more, right? Once I feel abundant, then I'll start thinking abundantly. Guys, guess what? Abundance doesn't show up until you start thinking abundantly. It's the mindset shift that it has to occur first to put you on the track, to give you the foundation of all the activities that you're going to actually engage in to bring yourself from one place to another. So don't wait for it to happen. Make the decision and then start behaving abundantly, and abundance actually comes. John, bring us home.
I was gonna say, like, to kind of put all what you guys are saying, it's like more scientific terms. The part of the brain that you guys are talking about is the reticular activating system. Once that brain starts in that, like, part of the brain focuses on the thoughts that are already implemented inside your brain. So if you're able to start shifting your thoughts, your reticular activating system will start seeing things that seemed as if they were never there before, but they were. You just never had a chance to focus on them because you were focused on other things.
You got it. Well said, right? John's never even taken bold, and he's talking about the RAS, the reticular activation system. I love it. So just know your mindset is going to create your reality. And there are typically two choices. You can choose to think in scarcity, or you can choose to think in abundance. You can choose to feel entitled and have that fear drive your decisions, or come from gratitude and confidence. Guys, that's what we have for you today. It is 9:20. Thanks for the extra few minutes. I thought this was an important topic. Have a lovely day today. We'll see you at 1 o'clock today or 11 o'clock tomorrow for the sign in to win. Those of you heading to Debbie's opportunity for business builders, you have 9 minutes to get there. Have a great day. See you soon. Love you guys.